The first way I got connected with Valley Baptist was actually when I was in the 3rd grade. I did not grow up in a Christian home, but Valley has always had the bus ministry. They would come around my neighborhood and pick up the kids, and I would get on the bus. And I remember giving my heart to the Lord when Valley Baptist was on Airport Drive. Roger and I met, I was 31 at the time, and I had some friends that invited me to an outreach ministry. When I walked in, Roger was part of the worship team, and I wasn't looking for anybody, but when I walked in, I thought, oh, he's cute, but he's a guitar player. My mom always told me, don't date a musician, so I was kind of hesitant. Someone had introduced us, and we just slowly began to talk, and we just began to date, and then he proposed probably a couple years later. So when we were attending Valley at the time, Pastor Rusty was going to start this group, Bibles and Brownies. We just felt like God was telling us, look, it's time to commit to be with God's people and really start building those relationships. We didn't know anybody really in that whole group. We just felt like we could be ourselves. You could come in, learn about the Bible, but also just have that real connection where you could just talk about how your week was, how your day was, and just begin to build friendships within the church, God's people. And it was just something that we liked, just being with the people. My husband, Roger, got sick in August of 2021, just last year, with COVID and went to the hospital. But through that time, our life group just really stepped up. They weren't only checking on me, they were checking on Roger. We couldn't be with him at the hospital, but he had his phone. I love the fact that there were men in our life group, men in our church that were texting him, and he knew that he was loved, that there were people praying for him, and that his church family, cared. And so that meant a lot to me. He passed away in August, on August 4th, and I cannot explain to you the overwhelming love that I felt from this church. And I just think back on it, and I think I'm so glad that Roger and I decided to join that life group when we did, because we built those relationships. And if we would have not done that together, God would have seen me through, but he really used his people during that time to comfort me and to pray for me and just show God's love. One of the ladies had offered to make me like a blanket out of Roger's clothes because I didn't know what to do with them. And I just thought, man, that is so awesome that she would offer her time and talent to do something like that for me, and to be encouraged by people just saying, hey, I'm praying for you. I don't know how I would go forward without that. Another thing that I love about our life group is that they knew Roger, right? And so when I go in there, I don't have to explain. I lost my husband and I lost my best friend, but they lost a friend too. And so we're going through this journey together. And I love that someone can come up to me and share a story, or we can say a comment and everybody knows, oh yeah, Roger, he would have liked that, or he would have laughed at that. And it would make him happy to know that I have those people in my life because they were his friends too. In the moment of tragedy, in the moment of trials and tribulations, when you're going through things, you already want to have people that love the Lord and you have relationships with established. You don't want to wait until you're in the middle of a storm. God has people in mind for you. Your life group, the people that he knows will be able to encourage you and that you can encourage too. And so I would just say, don't wait. Just join a life group, get connected, and you'll be blessed.